I'm guessing you've got doubts. And if we're honest, when you look at what certain Christians say, what they do, how they act, at times you're disappointed by the church, maybe even embarrassed, which, if you're really honest, has caused you to become maybe more than a little disillusioned when it comes to faith, church, and Christianity. I want to tell you something. I get it. And one of the things that has made Christianity often all too resistible is its rigidity. It's the way Christianity often presents itself as a set of beliefs that you must prescribe to, otherwise you're a heretic. You don't make the cut. You're out. Another way to put it is this. The thing that makes Christianity all too resistible is toxic theology. Hey gang, many of us, we grew up around church or around church people. We've had experiences with church, and some of those experiences, they weren't so bad. Maybe you went on that church youth trip or to Bible camp with a friend. Maybe you have people in your life who are really into their religion and they're really nice people. But if you're honest, when it comes to your faith and your perceptions of Christianity, you've got doubts. And if you're really honest, when you look at what certain Christians say, do, how they act, you're just so disappointed by the church, which, if you're really honest, all has caused you to become a little more than a little disillusioned when it comes to faith, church, and Christianity. If that's you, this series is for you. Today, I'm in week 2 of a 5-session conversation that we're simply calling, I Just Don't Know. We're talking about the things that make Christianity all too resistible. And today I want to talk about theology. What is theology? Theology is the study of the nature of God and religious belief. It's how we talk about our religious beliefs. And let me tell you, there are a lot of churches and religious people whose theology is, well, toxic and actually destructive. And maybe you didn't have the language for it, but the way they talked about faith, you've ran into people like this. It's caused you to doubt. It's made you disappointed and maybe a little disillusioned. It's interesting. Historians who study the early church all agree that the earliest Christians were widely divergent in their beliefs, which is surprising to many of us. For example, if you read the stories of Jesus' life in each of the Gospels, the first 4 books of the New Testament, you get a different flavor for who Jesus was in each of those Gospels. Jesus' life meant something different to each of them, and so their writing reflects that. Now, by contrast, here's what's often a stumbling block for many of us when it comes to Christianity. Christianity is often understood to be a set of hardened, unalterable beliefs that are to be treated as unquestionable facts. For example, the 6-day creation story. Jonah was swallowed by a whale. Noah built a boat and filled it with 2 of every animal on the planet. There's the virgin birth, there's Jesus' physical resurrection, the creeds, a literal hell must exist. Many in Christian circles have defined Christianity as adherence to these beliefs. The problem is, and take this the right way, you can just as easily be a terrible human while holding these beliefs. And that's a problem for many of us. Belief doesn't inherently make anyone a good person. And here's what else is true. The opposite is also true. You can be an absolutely wonderful human and not adhere to popular Christian beliefs. Some of the kindest, most warm-hearted, generous people I have ever met don't buy into Christianity. And this is a problem for Christianity. It's a problem for many of us. Because it makes insiders out of people who believe one thing, but don't live like Jesus, and it labels other people who act like Jesus but don't believe, it labels them as outsiders. Now, this isn't how Christianity was meant to be. In fact, the earliest Christians were widely divergent in their beliefs. So what if, gang? What if Christianity was less about beliefs, less of a standardized test, and more a gathering of people on a quest to follow the life and example of Jesus? And that rather than adherence to a set of beliefs, followers saw it our mission to teach others about this life by living as being living examples of Jesus' radical love, defining ourselves by our ongoing quest or mission rather than by the beliefs we hold at any given moment. Well, I want you to think about that. And as we close, I've got a couple questions for you. What beliefs have you been led to believe are essential to being a Christian? And secondly, how would Christianity change for you if central to faith wasn't a set of unalterable beliefs, but instead that Christianity is all about being on a quest to follow the life and example of Jesus?